Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Simberg, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about repairing relationships during recovery. And if you find the information in this video and my other videos helpful, I would appreciate it if you would either like, comment, and or subscribe so that can help the algorithm on this channel and also help me to fulfill my passion of helping as many people as possible. So, when we're talking about preparing relationships, it's not unusual when someone is active in their addiction that they have difficulty maintaining reasonable relationships with people because, generally speaking, when people are active in their addiction, they're not always being reasonable. One of the reasons someone may not be reasonable is because if your addiction happens to be alcohol or drugs, it affects the way you think. The chemicals affect the way you think and affect the way you make decisions. If your addiction happens to be gambling, watching pornography, although substance related addictions and process addictions both have a certain urgency to them in the sense of whenever you think about doing whatever it is you normally would be doing when you're active in your addiction, it's almost like you might even feel like a franticness, like, okay, I got to do this. And one of the reasons for that, besides it being a pattern that you've developed, is that it helps you to feel good. It gives your dopamine a shot, and dopamine is known as the feel good neurotransmitter, but also because it's a pattern. And unfortunately, it's not unusual when someone is active in their addiction to be self centered, to think only about what they want to do. And what you might recognize to varying degrees, you might, is the effect that your addictive behavior is having on other people. So the challenge in repairing relationships while you're in recovery is that people form a rather strong opinion about you. Some some people may have hurt feelings. Some people may have resentments. And depending on how long you've been active in your addiction, that can translate into how difficult it could be for people to forgive you and for you to be able to repair those relationships. One very important tip that I will give you, and this is extremely important, and I'll explain it, is when you are in recovery, don't make any promises. Don't promise that, for example, you're never going to drink again. You're never going to use drugs again. You're never going to watch pornography again. You're never going to gamble again. If you say anything, this is what you can say. You can say, I'm in recovery, or you might say, as you know, I'm in recovery. I'm doing everything I can to manage my recovery as effectively as possible. And my intention is to never drink alcohol again, never to use drugs again, never to gamble again, never to watch pornography again. Now, of course, you would make those statements or some variation of the statements if you feel strongly about it, if you have that really strong intention. Now, the difference between expressing it as an intention as opposed to the decision that you're never going to do it again. I'm never going to do it again. You can never guarantee. It's impossible for anyone to guarantee that they're never going to do something again. But it's very reasonable and realistic that you state your intention, something about recovery, because that indicates and implies you have the support to maintain that intention. And the last thing I can say about this is don't expect people to be able to feel in a positive way towards you very soon. It can take people a while because based on the length of time that they've known you when you were active in your addiction, it doesn't have to take that long. If you were active in your addiction, say for a year or two, it doesn't have to take a year or two. But one of the most important things for people that you've had relationships with is they have to be able to develop trust. Trust that you'll be able to maintain your recovery. And one of the main ways that they'll be able to develop their trust is to see consistency. When they see how you are over a consistent period of time, that can help them to develop the trust that will contribute to you having the better relationships with those people. And in my next video, I'm going to be talking about what to do when people won't forgive you. And as a last thought, I want to encourage you never ever to give up during your recovery journey. When you feel like giving up, you may feel frustrated, you may feel overly stressed, which I call distressed. Remember all you've accomplished. That will help you to see what you're capable of. And immediately, or as soon as possible, go to your relapse prevention plan. Use the tools of your relapse prevention plan. Because so often people give up when they're so close to accomplishing their goals. And also, a reason I want to encourage you not to give up, not to give in to that craving or that urge, is because you can get past it. And I don't want you to have to experience guilt or shame if you were to experience guilt or shame because of a relapse.